So, you're an indie game dev, and you're serious about winning. Not on your third or fourth try, but on your very first launch. Good. You're in the right place. This is the explainer you've been looking for. We're cutting through the noise to give you the hard truths and a proven formula to launch your game right. Let's get into it.
Here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll face the reality of the App Store. It's a real boss battle. Then, we'll build your virtual storefront piece by piece, starting with the perfect icon and screenshots that actually sell. After that, we'll hook it all up to your ads and press. And finally, we'll wrap it all together into your winning formula.
You know, you've poured your heart and soul into building an amazing game. And that's incredible. But I gotta tell you, it's not enough. The first real challenge, the biggest boss you're gonna face, isn't in your game. It's the App Store itself.
Just take a look at this number. 1.9 million. That's how many other apps you're up against on Apple's App Store alone. Let that sink in. You aren't just competing against other games, you're trying to be heard in a stadium with nearly 2 million other people shouting. The stakes are incredibly high.
So, in a marketplace that crowded, how do you possibly win? Well, you don't win by shouting louder. You win by being smarter. And this chart, this is your treasure map. 70% of people use search to find apps, and a whopping 65% of all downloads happen right after a search. This isn't just a fun fact, it's your entire strategy.
Okay, so we know players are finding you through search. The next question is, what do they see? That's your App Store page. You have to think of it as your digital storefront. It's the exact spot where a curious browser decides in like 3 seconds whether to download your game or just keep on scrolling.
The whole process of managing that storefront has a name, App Store Optimization, or ASO. And it really does two things. The first is visibility. That's using keywords so you show up in search in the first place. But the second part, and this is crucial, is conversion. That's using your creatives, your icon, your screenshots, to convince someone to actually hit install. And that's what we're going to zero in on today.
In fact, there's a term for this, conversion rate optimization. And look, it's not just some corporate buzzword. It's about making small tweaks that have a huge impact. Seriously, boosting your conversion rate by just a tiny bit can mean thousands of extra downloads from the exact same traffic you were already getting. It is the definition of working smarter.
All right, let's start building that high-converting storefront. And we have to begin with the single most important piece of creative you will make, your icon. This little square is everything. It's your game's first handshake, its billboard, its identity, all rolled into one. So what makes a perfect icon? It comes down to 4 basic rules. 1. Keep it simple. You need to be able to tell what it is in a split second. 2. Show the core gameplay. Tell the user what they're going to do. 3. Use striking, bright, contrasting colors to literally pop off the page. And 4. Look at what all your competitors are doing and then do something different. Dare to stand out.
And this right here, this is a hard truth. You might absolutely love the character you designed, but unless you're a massive brand, nobody knows who that character is yet. For a new indie game, focusing your icon on the action, the mechanic, the thing you do in the game, that's almost always a better bet. It shows the experience, not a face they don't recognize.
Okay, awesome. Your icon was killer, and it earned you a click. A potential player is now taking a closer look. This is where your screenshots and your video have to close the deal. This is not a photo gallery. It is a visual sales pitch. Hey, remember this number from before? 65% of downloads come straight from search. Well, here's why that matters so much for your screenshots. In the App Store, your first few screenshots are visible right there, in the search results. They aren't an afterthought. They're one of your most powerful weapons for getting that initial click. So, how do we make screenshots that sell? First, your first 3 images are everything. They need to immediately show off what makes your game special. Second, don't just throw up random images. Tell a story. Show a progression. Third, use short, punchy text on the screenshots to call out cool features. And last, this one sounds simple, but it's so important. If your game is played vertically, make your screenshots vertical. It builds trust.
Now, for promo videos, the rules are even tighter. You have maybe 3 seconds to grab someone. Forget the fancy logos at the start, jump straight into the most exciting gameplay you have. Always assume the sound is off, which means you need on-screen text to explain what's happening. And yep, just like screenshots, match that orientation. It's all about giving an honest, exciting preview of your game.
Okay, our virtual storefront is looking amazing. It's polished, it's clear, it's ready for customers. Now, we need to get people to the store. This is where your ads, your website, your press kit, all of it has to work together in perfect harmony with what you've built.
And that leads us to the golden rule of game marketing. It's so simple, but you would be shocked how many people get this wrong. Whatever you show in your ads, the graphics, the words, the feeling, it absolutely must match what people see when they land on your App Store page. Why is this such a big deal? Well, for starters, it builds trust. It makes the journey from seeing an ad to hitting install feel seamless and honest. That right there improves your conversion rate and your ad performance. But here's the secret sauce. When you get more downloads from your ads, it signals to the app stores that your game is popular. And you know what they do? They start showing you higher in the search results for free. That's called organic uplift. It's magic.
All right, we've gone through all the individual pieces. We've talked icons, screenshots, ads, you name it. Now it's time to assemble all of those parts into a repeatable, sustainable system for success. This is your winning formula.
Here it is, your ongoing checklist. Number 1, A/B test everything. Don't guess which icon works best. Let the data tell you. Number 2, localize. Translating your text and screenshots for other countries is one of the easiest ways to grow. 3, use player feedback. Dig through your reviews, find what people love, and shout about it in your marketing. And 4, keep your page updated. Fresh creatives tell the app stores your game is alive and kicking. And you know, A/B testing isn't some complex thing that requires a ton of money. Both Google and Apple give you powerful tools to do this for free. On Google Play, it's called Store Listing Experiments. On Apple, it's Product Page Optimization. There is absolutely no excuse not to be using these. So, as we wrap up, it really all comes down to this one simple question. You've spent months, maybe years, pouring everything you have into making an incredible game. But have you given that same strategy, that same attention to detail, to the one thing that decides if anyone will ever even play it? Your game is ready. The question is your storefront?